Hello there, greetings. Joe Boy J here, right? This is Hidden Lotus course, and we are currently on the section of nervous system recalibration, aka inner child wellness. I prefer to say wellness over healing, because they should wrong with you. These are interpretations and such. So, the last one we just looked at somatics. This one lesson, what we're talking about is about consumption. What do you consume, right? So, why should you care? Why does this fucking matter? Why is this important, right? Essentially, what you consume is essentially who you are and what you end up acting as on a day-to-day basis, whether you realize it or not. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you a positive example and a negative example. It's not really positive and negative, but in terms of how human dichotomy overstands it, we'll just use that one. So let's say there's someone that you know, or yourself, or whatever, and they like to watch a lot of reality TV, a lot of drama shit, you know, a lot of people fighting online, you know, World Star Hip Hop or something like that, right? And that's like mostly what you consume on the internet and what you like to see, listen to, whatever, right? Okay. Now, this person, whether it's you, someone else, whatever, this person will be way more prone to be very adversarial, very chaotic in nature. They may want to always fight people. They always want to maybe have confrontations. They may not necessarily be in a peaceful state of mind. They may always be thinking it and have hypervigilance. You know, they may be in a fight or flight state, and etc. And the reason why this is because your body essentially is always analyzing and scanning information. You could go search up some videos of like children and how they act whenever they're like around other people or with their parents. You know how like you see a child and the child will mimic exactly what the parents say, what the parents do, you know, or the people around them. That's literally our bodies to a T. Our bodies are an adaptation machines, right? Nature in itself is adaptive. And whatever environment that you put yourself in, whether natural or artificial, meaning that you create, or that was created already, you will be subjected to the energy, the frequency, and essentially the programming of that environment. So if you are, as the example we said, watching things that's like dramatic and fighting and toxic and shit like that, you're going to end up becoming that type of person, right? Just indirectly. You adopt the mannerisms, the words, right? And you might think it, and sometimes it might look funny, it might think, or may look cute, but it's not in actuality of how you actually function. This is not a judgment, this is just an observation based off of the objectivity of the circumstances with the relation with your body, aka your inner child, and your mind, and of course your soul guidance of yourself. Now let's say another example, right? Let's say that you're around people that talk about success. You like to go to the gym. You like to, watch educational content. You like to, meditate or something around those lines of things, right? You'll be someone that's more than likely, in terms of the nervous system wise, way more at peace. You'll be able to be more aware of yourself. You'll be more intentional about what you do and what you say, right? And you'll be able to articulate yourself more than likely better, or maybe have more interpersonal skills, things of that nature. I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but I'm just saying like the likelihood of person B in the things that I just described would have those things more so than person A would, just based off of the things that they are consuming and the things of wherever they're at. When I say consumption doesn't mean just eating or just watching. Consumption is anything that's a person, place, or a thing. So the people you're around, the place that you're at, and the things that you interact with, whether it is physical or non-physical. So like these goddamn phones and shit that we love, right? Just an example of that. So some other things, right, or some practical ways we could have this in application of consumption. You can literally tame your social media algorithm. I've done this a few times. So what do I mean by this? You could go to your social media algorithm and ask yourself, is this, like, just scroll, right? Consciously though, slowly. And ask yourself, is these things what I see myself becoming more of or reflecting more of? So for example, let's say you like Kung Fu. Let's say you like cooking, right? You probably wouldn't want to watch content that someone that's eating takeout food all the time. Not to say that eating takeout food, nothing wrong with that. It's nothing. I'm just saying, if you're talking about cooking, it would probably benefit you better in terms of you programming yourself to watch other people cook. So you're learning and you're getting in the habit of seeing individuals cook, which will make the likelihood of you cooking increased significantly. Or like I say like martial arts or kung fu. If you are watching that type of content online, you will be way more inspired or way more likely to be able to not only watch and do the same movements, but you will be more intrigued to see more about it and learn more about it. Maybe get a course in it, or maybe make your own style or something along those lines, right? So you can curate your algorithms on social medias, right? If you feel like you just can't do that, you can just delete social media altogether just for a certain time period. I know sometimes, like if I feel like I really need to get back to myself, maybe like a week, maybe a few days, right? Just turn it off and really just like be with yourself. I know that's difficult as fuck, but just you self-assess for what you feel like you need at the time. I'm not saying that's exactly what you need to do, exactly those periods. I'm just giving examples, right? Another thing this is very, very key. So on your phone, right? This phone that we love. If you have an iPhone, I think this also works on Android, but I'm not sure. So you'll see right here on my phone, right? You see how it's colorful and shit, right? Got color and shit, right? Now watch this. Now you see it? It's black and white. Why does that matter? Watch it, you hear. Your phone, all of our phones, they essentially are made in a way to literally, biologically wise, hack our attention and to make us sucked into the shit. So like the colors on it, the way the apps are made, there's certain notifications and shit like that, like all of that contributes to us being literally sucked into our phone. So there's on your phone, you can go to your settings. So this is the process. Go to your settings, go to and type in filter, and it will go to color filters. You'll click that and then you'll press it on and turn on grayscale. As you turn on grayscale, and then additionally, you see your brightness setting, you'll hold it, and it'll have this right here, and it'll say something called night shift. Press that night shift. What that does is turn off, and it makes your screen warm and takes off the blue of the blue light. The blue light on our phones is the things that makes our brain stay awake. So say if you're like up at night a lot, or it's difficult for you to sleep, by the time it gets close to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, our brain makes melatonin for us to go to sleep, right? To naturally feel tired. If you have that blue screen on, it literally bypasses that, and your brain recognizes the phone as if it was the sun, and you stay more awake. And it's difficult for you, more difficult, should I say, for you to go to sleep, especially those people that got ADHD or who are neurodivergent. Anybody else? Hello. That shit is like paramount for me. I can at least say. Not saying that you have to do that. I'm just giving you examples of what helps. If I am to stay focused on my phone, if I press those two things, what it literally does is when you press the grayscale, it's all gray. The grayscale part of it gets you bored of your phone. You won't see all those nice, flashy colors, right? That will subconsciously, aka inner child. Because think about a little kid. Whenever they go somewhere and they see a lot of colors, they're like, touching shit, right? Being around shit, nothing wrong with that. But that's a part of what these companies recognize, and they want us to touch and say, ooh, shit, ooh, ah. And once we fucking press this, press that, oh, wow, I just spent $200. All right, type shit, right? Or, oh, wow, I'm looking at all this stuff, and now I'm not focused on what we need to do or what we feel like we should be doing, et cetera, right? So that's just something that I wanted to touch on about what we consume, and I hope that helped. I want to go through one more time just so anyone that missed in terms of what was going on, what we talking about. You can curate your algorithms on social media. That's one methodology. You can turn off your social media for a certain amount of time and delete it. right? In terms of just like delete the app, not saying delete your profile. You also can go on your phone and turn off the colors, and also turn on the night shift feature to make your phone take off the blue screen, and those things help you to not be more prone to stay hyper alert on your phone, to be subject to it. And it also helps you to be able to navigate and get bored of your phone, so you can look at the colors of the world and be more present in the world. So, I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you